Tell me, brother, what were you the god of again?
Hey everyone, Mark Friedrich here, coming to you from Melbourne, New Jersey. You were expecting Thor, weren't you? Well, sorry to disappoint, but if I were Thor or any superhero, I definitely would have my rubber chicken instead of that hammer. If you think about it, we were all like superheroes this year, and this school year was like one of those epic Avenger battles. In the end, the good guys always win. COVID-19 is going away, and physical education and health is coming back in our schools, along with all the students. Unfortunately, today, we are still virtual for the 48th annual Elementary Physical Education Workshop. It is my honor to be here, and my presentation today, while virtual, is going to be interactive. I hope you enjoy it, and I certainly miss seeing you all. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the 2021 Elementary Physical Education Workshop. My name is Mark Friedrich, and this is No Touch Team Building. I teach at Milburn High School in Milburn, New Jersey. I'm an adventure education teacher. This is my outside classroom. Where's Milburn, you ask? It's simple. We're 22 miles west of New York City. My program agenda today, I hope to cover the following. I'd like to talk to you about the power of human connection, my personal adventure, provide you with resources, strategies, no-touch team building activities, talk about interactive play in this virtual presentation, provide you with a final thought or a so what, and talk about how we as physical education teachers are going to move forward with team building. The now what? Are you ready? Couple house rules. Number one, be on board. Thumbs up. Thumbs up means you're on board. You're on board with trying something new. You're on board with giving me your best. You're on board with forming new connections and relationships. The dice represent taking chances, risk. Please leave your comfort zone today. Get into your stretch zone. That's where learning will take place. The traffic cone, it's symbolic of safety, both physical safety in adventure education and, of course, psychological or emotional safety. Both are vital. And lastly, the rubber chicken, play with a purpose. Rubber chickens are symbolic of fun. I would love for you to have as much fun as possible while playing today. One quick warning, my tech skills are average at best. For me to get through this presentation, it's going to be a real chore. It's connection time. Are you ready to meet your presenter? Let's go. Let's find out about your presenter. Born and raised in New Jersey, I attended college at Montclair State University for my undergraduate degree, Kane University for my master's degree in administration, but it was my master's program in adventure education at Plymouth State University that shaped who I am as an adventure education teacher today. Speaking of teaching, I just completed year 26 as a public school teacher. Currently, today, I'm working the high ropes course at Camp Riverbend, which is why I can't be there with you. This is year 24 as a summer camp counselor. I've also served as a lacrosse coach at Milburn High School. I did 14 years, so I know my way around a team. The ultimate team, though, has to be your family. My wife, 3 children, and our dog are very supportive of my adventure, and I thank them so much for everything they do. For connection purposes, let's quickly learn some fun facts about your presenter. Do I look familiar? Yep, that's right. You probably have a Flaghouse catalog sitting around your office. I was on their cover for 3 straight years. I appeared on Fox 5 News New York to advocate adventure education in our schools. Being on live TV with Ernie Anastas was quite an adventure. Shape America featured Milburn High School adventure education as one of their success stories in a national newsletter article. New Jersey AFERD, now Shape NJ, named me their high school physical education teacher of the year in 2016. That was quite an honor. This past school year, let's just say adventure education was on the go, virtually, of course. I appeared or presented at 13 different state association conventions. Being able to attend and present, and more importantly, help out those associations and teachers was truly an honor. Speaking of honors, this past April, I presented No Touch Team Building at the National Shape America Virtual Convention and Exposition. While there, they named me their 2021 Joy of Effort Award recipient, an honor I am truly grateful for, and I thank Shape America for that opportunity. And lastly, let's talk about today. It's my honor to be part of one of the many educators assembling here today for the 2021 Elementary Physical Education Workshop. I hope you enjoy my presentation, and I thank you for being here. All my contact information will appear at the end of the presentation in a slide like this. Throughout this presentation, I will periodically have my social media handles at the bottom of the slide. Feel free to copy them down and follow my adventure. Your support is greatly appreciated. It's adventure story time, so please follow along. I guarantee my story sounds a lot like yours. It begins on March 13th, 2020, when the world was hit by the COVID-19 pandemic. Melbourne High School, like most schools, closed for 2 weeks so the virus could pass. But we quickly knew that virus wasn't passing and we'd be closed much longer. I also realized my first day of school last year and my last day of school looked way different and felt way different. Melbourne High School Physical Education and my Adventure Education program, there were a lot of questions heading into last summer about what it would look like for the fall. I felt like a stranded castaway. I needed help. I knew my program and myself personally felt like we were adrift on the ocean, and I was afraid of losing what I loved most. I needed to reach out for help. I received some hope in July last summer when my camp, where I am today, Camp Riverbend, opened up for 6 weeks during a global pandemic. It was all thumbs up for me as I headed to work for the first time. I cleaned myself up, I was mentally prepared, and I was excited to get back to work. I'm proud to say that last summer we were able to operate a high ropes program with brand new protocols during the COVID-19 pandemic that kept our campers safe and engaged. Having that human connection with campers last summer was very meaningful. The other thing was, it was nice to have human connection again with real live colleagues. Having that connection really gave me a boost. I left Camp Riverbend with a smile on my face, excited for the school year. That smile quickly went up in flames like a closing campfire when my school said it was going all virtual for the first market period. I began to panic. I had zero Google Meet or Zoom skills. I was absolutely clueless as to what Melbourne High School would do for adventure education, especially in a virtual world. I even felt like a first-year teacher. I was nervous. What would I do? How would it work? How would I possibly teach virtual adventure education? I needed help. I needed support, advice, guidance, and assistance, and I needed it quickly. I entered the school building August 26, 2020 for the first time in a long time. I was both excited and scared. I had to reach out. I needed support. I needed a lot of people helping me to get my adventure education program back to the high standards I was used to. I personally have to thank some of the world's greatest adventure education trainers and experiential educators. By reaching out to them and making those essential connections, I was able to get my program back on its feet. Thank you, Chris Ortiz, Chris Cavert, Amy Clymer, Chad Littlefield, Ryan McCormick, Michelle Cummings, Phil Brown, and Chip Candy. It was Mark Collard down in Melbourne, Australia that helped me the most and was my greatest connection. He's my true superhero. His playmeo.com website and database for adventure education team building activities was a lifesaver, and I owe a lot to Mark Collard. Thank you so much. By the time school rolled around, I was ready to go. I felt comfortable, I felt my tech skills were better, and more importantly, I had a vision for how I wanted my virtual adventure education classes to look like. Mark, what's your point here? My point is simple. Connection before content was the key. It helped me build relationships with my student. It made my content richer in a virtual world. I was able to establish and build trust. It led to SEL benefits in my classes. It removed participation barriers, and it improved emotional safety amongst my students in a virtual world. Connection before content was vital. So pretty much what I'm saying here, connections are key. Without those connections that I made with those experiential educators across the world, I probably would have been one of those teachers stuck in a rut. So let's connect. There are several ways we can connect today. Obviously, there's the live chat. I'm going to be manning the chat, and I hope to connect with you through that. Please put all your questions in the chat so that I can answer them. I hope at the end of this presentation, you will have some questions for me. Are you ready to play? I got my chickens and I'm ready. So let's play. My goal today is to take you inside the Melbourne High School Adventure Education Activities Vault and show you some of my favorite virtual team building activities that you can totally do as no-touch team building activities coming back in the fall. The starting lineup for today is simple. I have about 9 different activities that I would love to get to, from whip-arounds to problem solvers to social emotional learning activities to a few energizers, also a few classics that I brought along into the virtual world from pre-COVID. So if everyone's ready, let's play. But before we play, I'd like to explain to you what a rapid link video is. Each activity will have a short rapid link video explaining the rules and directions of the activity. What's a rapid link, you ask? Let's take a look. What is a rapid link? Rapid links are commonly used in the adventure education world as connectors on a challenge course in applications that range from the attachment of swing ropes to cargo nets to the connection of belay hardware. It's simple. Think of a rapid link as a form of connection. So there you have it. A rapid link is a quick connector in the adventure education world. I use rapid link videos all the time on my YouTube channel. I use them for informative, short messages, videos that advocate adventure education to the parent and outside community. It serves as a quick connector between the inside curriculum and content and the outside school community. I'm also going to provide you with facilitator tips for each activity. But once again here, a quick reminder, I would love for you to take risk, be on board, use safety, and play with a purpose. We're going to have live interactive play. Some of the activities we do today are going to require you to use the chat. I'll be monitoring the chat and hopefully I can keep up with the action. Our first 2 activities are known as whip around activities. This one is called Are You Feeling It? Are You Feeling It was a quick way for my students to check in on their classmates by simply asking a very generic question. Hey, are you feeling it? Students were either feeling it or they were not feeling it for whatever reason. Whip-arounds occur when I have every student open up the microphone. Students would then close their microphone after they responded and pass it to a classmate. Let's take a look with the rapid link to see how my friends from Wisconsin made out when they played Are You Feeling It at the WHPE Winter Convention. Shannon, good morning. Are you feeling it?
I'm feeling it today, Mark. I'm excited. I'm going to reach out to Abigail. Are you feeling it?
I'm feeling it. Thank you. Michelle, are you feeling it?
Oh, I'm feeling it. Tim, are you feeling it?
Yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm excited I'm at school today, but I'm feeling it here. I'm gonna pass it over to Will.
Hey everybody, I'm okay. I'm okay. Jackie, how are you feeling it?
I am feeling it. I love my PE family. Hey Melanie, are you feeling it?
Good morning. Yes, I am feeling it. Molly, are you feeling it?
I'm feeling it. I'm excited for today as well. Kristen, are you feeling it?
I'm feeling it. Thanks for the shout out. Kara, are you feeling it?
I'm feeling it. I need another cup of tea, I think, but I'll be good then. Katie, are you feeling it?
I'm feeling it. I'm pumped up for today. This is so nice to see everybody, even if it's through a TV screen or computer screen.
Let's take a look at some facilitator tips for Are You Feeling It? First off, there were about 30 people on a screen in that activity. Imagine 30 students in your gymnasium spread out. have them all stand up, and then they have to pass around their morning greetings. Students would pass it around. Hey, are you feeling it? Mike would respond, yeah, I'm feeling it. How about you, Susan? No, I'm not feeling it. Then they would sit down. Every time a student passes it, they would sit down. By the end of the whip around, all students are sitting. Also, every student has had a chance to speak early in the period. Are you feeling it is a great whip around activity. Our next whip around activity comes directly from my friends at WHPE in Wisconsin. While they're presenting this winter, we came up with a brand new whip around called the Wisconsin Dairy Farmer. I don't need to explain this too much. It's pretty easy to follow along. So let's take a look at the rapid link.
Good morning, Melanie.
Good morning, Fred.
Good morning, Fraser.
Good morning, Jay. Ooh. Good morning, Katie.
Good morning, Moo. Good morning, Sadie.
Ooh. Good morning, Justin.
Ooh. Good morning, Molly.
Ooh. Good morning, Justin.
Good morning, Fencels.
Ooh. Ooh. There we go. That's the wrong thing.
Facilitation tips. Clearly, you can see how that one got to be a little silly. No one milks a cow like a Wisconsin dairy farmer. That's all I'm going to say. You can come up with your own kind of silly whip around activities like that. You could have the students create them. But again, students are spread out in your gymnasium and they're all standing. Once they have sent it around, no matter what fashion they do it in, they can sit down. Everyone gets involved and everyone has a good laugh. The one thing I can say about both those whip around activities, I can totally see them being used as no-touch team building activities in the fall. Anytime you can have students connect without touching each other, go for it. It's a great piece to your physical education program. Our next no-touch team building activity is called Weekend Warriors. Weekend Warriors uses paint chips. Paint chips are one of the best resources out there because they're free. The thing I like about this activity is it gets students to open up and talk about themselves. You know, connection. Students in this activity, as you'll see in the rapid link, will be discussing their weekend. They're going to correlate it to a paint chip color. They'll tell us the paint chip color and why it represented their weekend. Please take a listen as we watch this rapid link.
I'm going to go with blue. Watch the Giants and the Cowboys. Fortunately, I'm a Cowboys fan, so I watched them lose. Jonathan, what color represents you this weekend?
I'd say brown because I'd help my father-in-law chop wood for 5 hours. So
excellent answer.
Not that much fun. Let's go with Dimitri. What did you do? What color do you feel from the weekend?
Gray. Have to live with my in-laws, and I'm moving stuff back and forth to a storage unit. So great mood. Let's go with Andrew. How was your weekend?
I'm going to go with blue as well. Giants won, and then the Eagles lost, so I was a little upset. Let's see here. Mr. Timothy.
Thank you, Kane. I'm going with green because I think the Jets getting that second pick is going to surprise everybody, and Justin Fields is going to be a stud.
So what do you say we give this a try? This will be our first interactive play activity. Please enter in the chat what color best represents how you're feeling today. Here's the slide. Take a look at the colors and put in the chat which color best represents how you're feeling today, July 14th, 2021. Wow, look at the chat. You guys are doing a great job filling it in. While you're putting your answers in the chat, I'm going to go ahead and talk about facilitator tips. Let's talk facilitator tips. First off, I forgot to mention, this activity comes directly from New Jersey's own Chip Candy. Chip introduced me to paint chips years ago. I've used them for personality traits. I've used them for student moods, how students are feeling in a health class. We've used them to describe vacation experiences. Any social emotional learning activity can use paint chips as a great indicator of what the child is feeling. So when you're using paint chips coming into a no-touch team building situation, obviously you don't want students holding these paint chips in their hands. You could have them blown up on a screen, or we could introduce a no-touch zone. No-touch zones are definitely going to be used next year as we come out of this pandemic situation. Here's what a no-touch zone looks like for paint chips. Let's just say I had my paint chips laid out on the floor and I had students come into the gymnasium. I would have them gather around the circle, no touching of the equipment, and I would say, pick a color based off how you're feeling today. Maybe one child chooses that bright yellow paint chip, another child chooses a gray one, someone else chooses the red. They have the color in their mind, which will help them with the discussion, and then they can go connect and explain how they're feeling to other teammates. Definitely use no touch zones while coming out of the pandemic. I told you I would share with you a few of my favorite things, such as resources. This is one of my favorite resources, We Connect Cards by trainer Chad Littlefield. In this activity called We Connect Wednesday, we quickly made our Wednesdays a day to connect. On these cards by Chad Littlefield, you can see these are more than just your normal icebreaker questions, such as, what is one thing you expect from a friendship? What is something you would like to do more of? What has been the highlight of your week so far? What is a time you learned something from failure? What is something you do differently than most people? And what is something kind that someone else has done for you recently? These questions became a regular part of our class. Let's take a look at the Rapid Link videos to see how this plays out.
It was just my birthday the day after Christmas, so one of my friends bought me a attachment for my KitchenAid so I could make homemade pasta. What is something nice that someone has done for you recently?
My wife folded the laundry when it was my turn, so that was great. John, what about you?
I had a parent thank me for what I did for their child. Anthony, what's something kind that someone has done for you recently?
My in-laws came down yesterday and watched my kids for like 25 minutes, which was like a glorious 25 minutes. So go to Raul. What's something kind someone has done for you recently?
What's up, Anthony? Actually, it was yesterday. One of my students, during class, towards the end, he said, Mr. Ortiz, can you hold for a couple of minutes? And he created like a Happy New Year slide. So that was pretty cool. Malcolm, what's have somebody nice done for you recently?
Actually, Austin just called me because I had a situation in the house and he just called me to make sure I was okay. So I appreciate that, big guy.
All right, let's play again. Everyone get into the live chat and answer the following We Connect question. What is something kind someone else has done for you recently? This is the same question participants were answering in the Rapid Link video you just viewed. What is something kind someone else has done for you recently? Please put your answer into the chat. Some facilitator tips while you're answering the question. First things first, I love everything about these cards, from the selection of questions to the exercise options on the back of each card to even the box. Everything is made sturdy. The cards are constructed of cardstock, which make them sturdy and durable. I would, however, keep them separate as we come out of the pandemic. I would not let students pass them around. We'll talk about that in a minute. Some options I've used these cards for, I've had We Connect walks, where students are assigned a question, and then as they're outdoors hiking or walking, they have to discuss that question. I've also had We Connect climbs in adventure education, where you pose the question for the day, and they have to answer the question as they're climbing across one of my high elements. We Connect cards definitely are one of my favorite things. No touch zone? Absolutely. There's no reason why students need to hold these cards next year. Teachers can either post the question on a board, on a screen, or once again have that no touch zone. Here's what no touch zone looks like with We Connect cards. Have the cards laying out, have a student pick an option. Here, students would have an option of many different questions. Challenge by choice, they pick a question that best meets their needs. Or the teacher can select one question, and that's the class question for the day. We Connect cards, no touch zone, definitely for next school year. This is an awesome no-touch team building activity that gets students to really come out of their shell and connect. All right, let's check on the interactive play. Look at all those answers in the chat. You guys did an awesome job. The question was, what is something kind someone else has done for you recently? And you really came through. Look at the answers in the chat. Imagine if we were live in person, the conversation and the connections we would be having. Great job. Our next no-touch team building activity is an old one and a favorite. This activity is called Midnight Treasures. Midnight Treasures is a collection of old toys that my children left laying around the house. If it's sitting on the carpet and it's midnight, I take it and put it in a string bag. That string bag is filled with little treasures that now become conversation pieces in adventure education. Throughout the school year, we had many valuable conversations and connections based off of plastic animals, Matchbox cars, and even my childhood Star Wars figures. This is the slide I'd like to focus on today for this presentation. This will be the slide that's featured in the Rapid Links video. In the video, the participants will be talking about which midnight treasure best symbolizes them or their interest. Let's take a listen to hear how these grown adults can relate to these childhood toys.
I like the cheetah or whatever, the jaguar. I'm just starting to get used to cats, and because my boyfriend got a cat, so they're pretty cool, and I really like them now. So Sean, how about you?
I'm gonna go with the football because I spend way too much time worrying about sports or following sports. It's well, depends on who you ask, but I would say not too much time. But how about Alex? What about you? Which one represents you?
Me, I would say is that a chameleon?
It is.
Oh, a chameleon. I think that, I'm able to navigate through, change colors and just go through different terrains and things in life, through life. I'm originally from Cuba, so I like to speak different languages, different cultures, and be in different situations. So I think that's me.
So let's play. Please enter in the live chat which midnight treasure best symbolizes your personality. Let's take a look at the slide. So in this slide, I took a picture of about 20 to 25 midnight treasures on my work desk. In this picture, there's something for everyone. If you're a fan of nature, there are animals. If you're a fan of superheroes, there are superheroes. There are all sorts of midnight treasures. The one I normally use to describe my personality is the hardworking construction person on the bottom. The second from the right on the very bottom. He's wearing blue and yellow, and he has a sledgehammer. I tell my students my personality is 100% hard work and work driven. Students have often picked ones that really symbolize them, and this is a great activity. Please enter in the chat which one of these icons best symbolizes you. And while you're doing that, I'm going to talk about facilitator tips. So Midnight Treasures was one of those pre-COVID activities where everyone loved touching the equipment. Who doesn't like playing with childhood toys? Anyway, this is going to be a no-touch zone activity. I would not have students use the Midnight Treasures in their hands, unless, of course, you're prepared to sanitize after each use. That's going to take some time. I would simply set up a no-touch zone, lay them inside the cone, and have the students look at them. Everyone will see the item they're talking about. They could even take the person over to the no-touch zone and point to it. But I would not have students pass these around until we're completely clear of this pandemic. One last facilitator tip. You might be sitting here saying, but Mark, I don't have any of my own children. I'm single. I'm only a first-year teacher. Real simple. Ask your colleagues to contribute. Show them a picture of this slide. Anyone with children who are now older has these treasures laying around their house, and trust me, they can't wait to get rid of them. Have them bring you a plastic bag full of them, and then you go through them. Only keep the ones you want. Asking colleagues to help build your treasure collection is a great way, and it's free. I would not go out and spend money on a Midnight Treasures bag. Midnight Treasures is a great icebreaker SEL activity that's perfect for no-touch team building. Start making your treasure bag today. Okay, let's finish up in the chat with Midnight Treasures, and please don't forget, ask me questions in the chat. I'm here to help. So if you have questions, put them in the chat and I'll try to answer them. Our next no-touch team building activity is called Rose, Thorn, and Bud. This is one of those activities I just stumbled upon while searching for virtual team builders in the middle of January. This activity became one of my favorites and is definitely coming out of the pandemic with me. It's a simple SEL icebreaker that has children talking about their rose, their thorn, and their bud. What is that, you ask? It's simple. Something they're good at is their rose, their success. Something that gives them a challenge would be their thorn. And their bud is something they want to grow at, something they have potential at. My students did an awesome job talking about not only their success, but their difficulties and their challenges. And they also gave great insight into what they wanted to become or what they wanted to work at during this school year. Please take a listen to Dr. Fran Cleland's Westchester University students do Rose, Thorn, and Bud during a workshop back in December. My rose, teaching adventure education. My thorn, definitely dancing. And my bud, I would love to become scuba certified. Hannah M.
I think my rose is getting to know people and talking to people. I really enjoy doing that. I think my thorn would be, I don't know, I think I overthink things a lot and things make me nervous sometimes, and it like keeps me up or something like that. And then my bud would be, I guess I have the potential I would want to go to more workout classes. Like I have a lot of interest in learning how to do yoga and things like that, but I just haven't been able to.
Okay.
Dr. Cleland, what are yours?
My rose, I really clean well. I like to clean, so if anybody was, when you come to your house, I'll clean. I'm the super cleaner. My thorn, I will have to say my thorn sometimes is a lack of patience, sometimes with people close to me. My bud is I'd like to start playing the piano again. I played as a child and a teenager. I don't have a piano anymore. So I keep talking to my husband about, let's get a piano so I can play.
So let's play. What's your rose? What's your thorn? And what's your bud? Please enter them in the chat as one entry. It should look like this. For example, if I was entering my answers in the chat, I would type in rose, teaching adventure education. I don't know. I think that's my success. My thorn, definitely dancing. I have 3 left feet. And my bud, or something I'd like to do, I would love to get scuba certified for the future. Take a look, rose, thorn, and bud, and enter them as one entry into the chat. And while you're doing that, I'm quickly going to talk about facilitator tips. Facilitator tips for rose, thorn, and bud are simple. This uses no equipment. There's no touching. It's a no-brainer. This is a great no-touch team building activity. One facilitator tip I will give you, as a teacher or facilitator, you should always give yours first. I let my students know that my challenge is dancing. If you put yourself out there, they will too. Students actually did a great job talking about their challenges. You also learn a lot and you connect with your students when you find out what their bud is. This is definitely one you can do safely in the gym coming out of pandemic. Just keep them spread apart. Of course, this is an awesome no-touch team building activity. Wow, take a look at the chat. Look at those answers. I learned so much about you from Rose, Thorn, and Bud. This is why this is a great no-touch team building activity. Thanks for playing, everyone. Our next no-touch team building activity is a great problem solver and energizer activity. It's called The Rock. The Rock is an old adventure education classic that comes from playmeal.com. When I discovered The Rock and put it into virtual setting, it became one of my class's favorites. The good news is The Rock can totally be done outside of a virtual world with actually one piece of equipment, a tiny rock. Let's take a look and see how The Rock plays out in our rapid link. Do you have The Rock, Travis?
I do not have The Rock. Abby, do you have The Rock?
I don't have The Rock. Colin, do you have The Rock?
I do not have The Rock. Jake McDermott, do you have The Rock?
I do not have The Rock, Colin. Alimento, do you have The Rock?
I do not have The Rock. Jess Watts, do you have The Rock?
I do not have The Rock. Abby Forlino, do you have The Rock?
I do not have The Rock. Maddie, do you have The Rock?
I do not have The Rock. Rosie, do you have The Rock?
I do not have The Rock. Patty, do you have The Rock?
I do not have The Rock. I'm not sure who went yet, but I will ask Alimento. Do you have The Rock?
I don't have The Rock. See, Randy, do you have the rock?
No, I'm not the rock, but I bet you Sarah Sherman has the rock.
Sorry, Nick, I don't have the rock. John Benelia, do you have the rock?
I do not have the rock. Justin, do you have the rock?
I do not have the rock. Let's see. Carolyn, do you have the rock?
I do not have the rock. Allie, do you have the rock?
I have the rock.
Allie, you have it?
Mm-hmm.
Allie's a rock. Okay, so Allie, you were so calm about that. You were like, yeah, I have it, guys. I'm sorry. Let's talk facilitator tips for the rock. First things first. Awesome job by the Westchester University Health and Phys Ed students finding the person who had the rock. So this is a simple game of hide and seek. One person will be chosen by the teacher to have the rock. I would simply use a small pebble, a wood chip, or something that you can just drop on the ground and pick up again. Students will have their eyes closed and their hands behind their back. The teacher will secretly walk around the class and drop or place the small pebble or stone inside the student's hands. Students will be instructed to obviously close their hands, and once the hands are closed, they may walk around forming connections and asking each other, do you have the rock? If students have the rock, they've been identified. This is a real simple game, and the best part about it is you can use social distancing and equipment that can be picked up off the ground. I would have maybe a small collection of pebbles or rocks in your hand that you can pass to the students. Obviously, hand sanitizer might be used if your students are worried about holding a rock. Have fun with this one. Students love finding out who the rock is. It's a great way to get around, and it's an awesome no-touch team building activity. Our next no-touch team building activity is called Come to My Party. This energizer comes directly from playmeo.com. I put this as a regular part of my class, usually on a Friday or right before a holiday break. My students loved trying to guess what the key to the party was. Everyone was invited, but everyone had to bring something. It was that something you brought that got you into the party. Let's take a listen as these Westchester University students demonstrate in the Rapid Link video how they tried to get into the party back in December. Who's ready to party? I know I am. Sarah, are you coming to the party?
I would like to come to the party. I'll bring salad.
Salad. Ooh, salad's a good thing to have at a party, but not my party, Sarah. I'm so sorry. Try again later. Hannah, are you coming to my party?
Yes, I'm coming to the party. Can I bring a pillow?
A pillow? Absolutely. In case you fall asleep, that's a great thing to bring to a party. So pillow, yes, you're in. Okay, Carolyn L., are you coming to the party?
I'm coming to the party and I'm going to bring a basketball.
A basketball? Love a basketball at the party. Great job. You're in the party. Yes. Travis, are you coming to my party?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm coming to the party. I'm gonna bring board games.
Board games? No, Travis, I can't let you in with board games. I'm sorry. Abby C., are you coming to the party?
Yes, I'm gonna bring juice.
Juice. Ooh, that's very smart. And with your college professors watching on, that was a great answer. But no, you cannot get into my party. So, Hannah, you said basketball, correct?
I said pillow.
Pillow. Okay. And someone said basketball. Does anyone have an idea what the clue is to get in, the key? Jessica.
Is it a double letter?
Yes, like in Watts, your last name. If you said something that had a double letter, pillow, basketball, both those have two L's, you got in. Great job, Westchester University students. You sure know how to party. You just had trouble getting into my party. Speaking of getting into my party, let's talk facilitator tips. The thing I love about this activity is the key to the party always changes. In that Rapid Links video, we used a double letter entry key. I've used single syllable, 2 syllable, 3 syllable. I've had students come up with the key. I've had keys based around holiday words. For example, in November, we used the word Thanksgiving to get into the party. If you gave me something that had a letter from the word Thanksgiving as your entry key, you were in. If you gave me something that was not in the word Thanksgiving, you weren't in. We've done this game so many times, and every time the students struggle to figure out the key. One last tip. Why do you as the teacher always need to be the one throwing the party? Wouldn't you like to come to the party? Have your students make up a key and see if you can get into the party. They love when the teacher plays the game. This is an awesome no-touch team building activity, and I hope you have fun with it. Anyone who knows me or has seen me present team building activities before knows I love my Ubuntu cards from High Five Adventure. These definitely are one of my favorite things. This will be our last activity of the presentation. It's called Ubuntu Spotted. It's pretty easy to figure out, so let's just quickly take a look at the rapid link.
Sponge.
Sponge.
Okay, whoever said sponge first, you get the point. Next one, ready?
That blue light, what is it?
Okay, the blue bug. Whoever said the blue bug gets it.
Clothespin.
Clothespin, you got it. It's clothespin.
Ace card.
The ace card. Whoever said ace card gets it. Ready?
Butterfly.
Got it. Nailed it. Next one.
Dinosaur.
Dragon is the correct answer. It's not a dinosaur, it's a dragon. Nicely done.
Sorry, Katie. It's okay.
Calculator.
Calculator, very good. Here we go. Easy.
Ready.
Sponge.
Car.
Race car.
Octopus or whatever that thing is going like this.
It's a monkey.
Octopus?
I don't know. I saw one.
Do we have an answer?
Shark.
Shark. Okay, I didn't hear you. Sorry. Be specific here.
Money. $2 bill.
$2 bill is the answer.
Lego.
Good
So
job.
Lego, nicely done. I know we're short on time, but let's play one last time in the live chat. Please enter the matching object for each set of cards in the chat as I progress through the slides. It's simple. It's like the classic card game, Spot It. Are you ready? This will be our sample round. Take a look at these two cards. There's only one object on it that has a match. It's the pine cone. The pine cone is in the bottom left corner and the upper left corner on these two cards. Notice they're different sizes. So as we progress through this game, you need to quickly type in the chat what the object is. Please be specific. I'm going to give you about 10 seconds for each object. Then I'll give you the answer. Ready? Good luck. Get your fingers ready and hit that chat right about now. What is the object that is matching? I'm going to count it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No more answers. Obviously, it's the scissors. The scissors are the only object on both cards. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Look for the matching object. Find it. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the person who typed squirrel in the chat first was our winner. Congratulations. Next one. Ready, set, go. Find the matching object and counting it down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop typing. If you typed in beads or necklace, congratulations, you found the matching card. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Find that object. What's it going to be? This one's a little trickier. We're going to count it down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you typed in blue bug in the chat, congratulations, you win. Notice the size difference here. Pictures do vary, and that's important when you're playing Spot It. Ready, set, go. Find that matching object. It's pretty easy, this one. Typing it in 3, 2, 1. Anyone who typed in frog, but specifically that first person, congratulations. You have won the game. We'll do 2 more. Ready, set, go. This one's a little harder. Look carefully. Typing it in the chat. 3, 2, 1. Stop typing. The person who typed in butterfly first, you win. Good job. And our final one in Ubuntu Spot It is going to happen right now. 3, 2, 1, spot it. Type it in the chat. What's it going to be? 3, 2, 1. Stop typing. The person who typed in battery, you are correct. Nicely done. Great job playing Spot It in the chat. Trust me when I say, this one's much better when you're live in person. However, I'm sure you experienced some brain freeze throughout that game. Your mind does play tricks on you. Let's talk facilitator tips. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure I'm ready to have students handle my Ubuntu cards until this thing's completely over. My suggestion would be use the single image card on the Ubuntu cards for Icebreaker's SEL activities. Set up your no-touch zone and just hold off on playing Spotted until we know we're in the clear. Ubuntu cards aren't going anywhere. They're going to be there for the long haul in team building activities. Be patient. Don't have your cards passed around. One final facilitator tip about the Ubuntu cards. Please let your students know the meaning of Ubuntu. It is an African term that means I am because we are. What greater philosophy to have in your team building class than I am because we are. Ubuntu cards are awesome and I highly recommend them. I hope you enjoyed that activity. Do you want to learn more about adventure or even connection? Please check out the most recent Open Forum podcast as I sat down with Mike Miller and Mike Martinez from Open Phys Ed to discuss the power of connection and how it works in adventure education. Tune in to the most recent podcast and check out episode 33 for our discussion. And lastly, this is our final chance to connect. If you have any comments or questions, please enter them in the chat as we go into our final thoughts. Let's wrap up with some final thoughts. A new day rises each morning at Milburn High School, and with each day, a little more hope, a little more belief, a little more confidence rises in me that everything we had in place prior to the pandemic hitting last year will be restored. I can't predict the future events, but I'm pretty confident the adventure education program at Milburn High School will rise again to what we knew before March 13, 2020. While things may look a little different and procedures may vary to allow for safety, there is a constant that always belongs in my program. Whether in person or remotely learning, students in adventure education will always feel connected. So what, Mark? The so what for adventure education this past year has been simple. While classes never got to climb, traverse, or zip in the first half of the school year, they did have enjoyable classes together on a screen. They were able to distress through play. They learned life and technical skills such as knot tying. They learned about each other, small bits of information, but most importantly, they connected virtually on a screen. Moving forward, our now what? It's my urging to you that if you're doing team building within your program, please limit contact with equipment until we're fully clear from this pandemic. Having limited equipment or no touch activities will benefit you. Follow your district's social distancing rules and continue to wear masks as long as are needed. Make connection a top priority in your classes. And lastly, please be patient, be on board, and have fun. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure and my honor to be presenting at the 2021 Elementary Physical Education Workshop. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. All my contact information is right here. Please feel free to reach out to me. Connect. I'm more than happy to help, and I would love to talk adventure education, team building, or anything that involves cooperative games with you. Follow me on social media and join my adventure. Thank you so much, and thank you for your support.
Thank you for attending the 48th Annual Elementary Physical Education Workshop. We're glad you were here.
Please follow us on our social media platforms. EPEW can be found on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Please check out our website for links to more great sessions. Just go to epew-cp.weebly.com and click on the virtual EPEW 2021 tab at the top and scroll down.
EPEW 2021 Educators Assemble would not be possible without the support and dedication from the amazing EPEW committee. The committee has been hard at work for months preparing for this workshop. Thank you to Linda McGee, Barbara Groton, Scott Wilson, Stephanie Sandino, Julie Miller, Jessica Monlux, Kayla Ailman, Shelby Lozano, Andrea Chavez, Scott Townsend, and Cindy Chase.
Thank you for attending EPEW, where our motto is, come to learn, leave as family.